Dogs, cats, animals, assistance animals. Yeah, so I think it's really important. I think in any type of job, any type of field that you work for, I think having having like animal companion or having something, everybody's different. Some people like fish, some people like reptiles, snakes, um, whatever. I think all of that is really good. I think it's good because when you get home, like for example, when I get home, Lala, she's always very happy to see me, and it's like it feels really good, to have somebody who's there waiting for you, and you could train them, and I've always had a dog ever since I started in the affordable housing community, and then once I became a manager, I got a puppy, and so I got this puppy, and I raised her. Um, I had her in the office with me. I carried her with me. I had her with me everywhere I went, and she just got bigger and bigger. And pretty soon, I wasn't able to bring her in the obvious office, obviously, because she's too big now. But then I would leave her in the apartment. Um, but I think it's really good to have. I think it's good to have the dog, or if you like cats, some cats are pretty good. Some people like hamsters. It's really good for just like takes away your stress of the day, and also too, people sometimes they tell me like, oh, I feel like depressed sometimes, or I feel like I don't got purpose, but if you don't have a dog or an animal and stuff, then I can see how it's easy to feel that way. But when you have like a dog or a cat or something, you don't really get like that too much, because you know that there's someone relying on you, and someone who really cares about you and needs you, you know. And so I would recommend everybody to get something like that, whether you're a manager, whether you're a maintenance tech, whether you're a social worker, and then the tenants too. So with the tenant thing, it's a little bit different. So in the affordable housing community, depending on the apartment complex, they'll allow pets. Some places they don't allow pets. So they have what is called the assistance animal. So some people they have an assistance animal. The animal does some assist them in a certain way. It's a whole legal thing behind it. There's also companion animal, where the animal gives you some kind of companionship. This shouldn't be mistaken for service animals. So, service animal is a specific animal that is given to somebody who has a disability, and the animal is trained to help the person, perform major life activities, such as walking, eating, not eating, but walking, helping them with groceries, helping them navigate. So, those are the assistance animals. And then they have the companion animal, and the assistance. So there was the pets, assistance animal, companion animal, and service dog. Yeah, so the service dog is the one that's meant for the is meant to provide help you do a major life activity. The assistance animal is just there to give you an assistance, and then the companion animal is like if you it gives you some sort of emotional support. There's also the emotional support animal. So a lot of all these things are not considered pets. That's the main point of this whole thing, is that they're not considered pets. So that's something you want to watch out for too, is when you're applying new people into the affordable housing. You They might ask you, are pets allowed? And depending on your company policy and the policy of the property, they might be allowed, they might not be allowed. But assistance animals and the service animals and everything, those are not considered as pets. So if you deny somebody who has legitimate reason for having those animals, then you can be seen as discriminatory. And you could be seen as discriminatory in your housing practices. So that's what you don't want to do. So I definitely recommend, learning about the differences and learning the categories. We just had a training about it just now. Remember how the trainings, you want to keep up to date on your trainings, and always keep training, always keep learning. The affordable housing industry is continuously evolving and continuously changing as the years go by. And if you want to be a strong manager, you got to be up to date on all these trainings and all the up to date policies. You got to stay methodical. You got to stay, clear headed when you're working on the property. You got to stay methodical when you're working on the property. You got to recognize things before they happen. You got to like see a problem and say like, oh yeah, I know what's going to happen. And you got to stay clear headed and don't, and especially with all these things, I'm throwing all these big terms at you, but I don't want fear to get in that head of yours. Okay. This is not to scare you. Okay. Don't let fear get into that head of yours and think like, oh, I'm going to offend somebody. I'm going to do something wrong and someone's going to sue me. Okay. So that's why you're watching this video. So you learn and you educate yourself. And that's basically what, we want you to do is we want you to try your best and we want you to educate yourself on the company policies and on the procedures and the state laws regarding the tenant landlord laws. You just got to try your best. You really have to try your best. And also when you have animals, it also gives a really good image. When you have you're taking care of a dog or a cat or any type of animal, it shows responsibility and it shows like your human side, like your soft side, because you're taking care of something. And I think a lot of people they don't realize that it's not so much the benefit it brings you, but it's also how your residents are going to perceive you. You know, your residents, they want to see a manager who's has that stability. And when you have animals like that, it kind of forces you to have that stability because the animal needs stability. And you're going to be a lot happier when you're stable. If you don't have stability, it's going to be very hard for you to grow and advance in life. You know, and so I definitely recommend it. It's a real big distressor. I can't see how anybody can get depressed for a long time if they have a dog or a cat or any type of animal. I'm allergic to cats personally, so I've always been a dog person. I've got 2 German Shepherds, and I'll probably get another one soon. Um, but my friend, he likes snakes, and then I got a resident who likes reptiles. So it just depends. It's just it's whatever you want. Some people like fish. Fish are cool. I wouldn't mind having an aquarium. That'd be pretty good. So it just depends what you like. But I think it's very important. I think the animals are very important in society. I think as animals are very important in life. I think that animals is like a protected class. They're unable to defend themselves, so that's why they need us to take care of them and to defend them and stand up for them. So I definitely support animal rights, and I definitely support people getting animals and taking care of them and or assist an animal, or a pet or whatever. But just so you know that when you're working in the affordable housing, the industry term is there's pets, there's assistance animal, there's companion animal, and there's service animal. And you want to learn all the difference because there's the pet, all those animals are not pets. So you cannot categorize them the same. So that's basically the gist of the whole assistance animal thing. But I would definitely do some training on it and definitely encourage you to do it. It's a great investment.